Listen to the story carefully and answer the questions at the end in the comment section. In a tiny, unhappy village, there lived a boy named Alex. From a young age, Alex had a heart that beat for justice. He couldn't stand to see anyone treated unfairly, and he always stood up for the oppressed, no matter the consequences. Even as a child, Alex's sense of right and wrong burned bright. When he saw the older kids teasing the village outcast, a girl named Sarah who walked with a limp, he didn't hesitate to step in. "Leave her alone," he'd shout, his voice filled with determination. Though he was outnumbered, Alex never backed down. His parents, though worried for his safety, admired his courage. They taught him to always speak up for what was right, even when it was difficult. And so, Alex's resolve only grew stronger with each passing day. He would even stand up for the weak stray dog. The older boys had a habit of pulling its fur and kicking its ribs. Though smaller and younger, Alex would charge in, his voice trembling but challenging. "Let the poor thing be." The boys tried to make fun of him, but something in Alex's blazing eyes sent shivers down their spines. They scattered, leaving the dog panting in gratitude, licking Alex's hand with a grateful whine. As he grew older, Alex's reputation as a champion of the oppressed spread throughout the village. People would come to him with their problems, knowing he would fight for them with unwavering determination. He stood up for the mistreated baker, whose scales were rigged by the greedy merchant, the young girl denied an education by her own family, the old woman cheated by a cunning shopkeeper. Alex knew fear, of course. The powerful often threatened him. Their allies glared with hatred. He'd get shoved, tripped, exiled. Yet, whenever fear took root, it was quickly drowned by an even stronger emotion, empathy. He couldn't bear the silent suffering of the oppressed. One day, however, Alex found himself on the receiving end of injustice. The village landlord, a powerful and greedy man named Mr. Stone, decided to raise the rents on all the villagers. This left many villagers struggling to make ends meet. A corrupt official, Malik, helped him. He held a grudge against Alex because Alex often confronted him for stealing crops and treating the villagers with disrespect. As usual, Alex was the first to speak out against this cruelty. He organized protests, penned petitions, and rallied the villagers. Furious, Mr. Stone and Malik fought back with force. They threatened to throw Alex's family out of their home and warned the villagers to stay silent if they knew what was good for them. Malik imprisoned Alex for days. The villagers, however, were no longer silent bystanders. They remembered Alex's countless acts of courage. The baker snuck him food in prison. The girl he'd helped study spoke out fiercely in his defense, and the poor woman, once cheated, gathered the women of the village in a silent but powerful protest. One day, they marched to Mr. Stone's mansion, their voices raised in protest. Despite the landlord's and Malik's efforts to scare them, they stood firm, refusing to back down. In the end, their determination paid off, and the tyrants were forced to back down, defeated by the united front of the villagers. When Alex was finally released, weakened but unbroken, he was met with a sight that brought tears to his eyes. The entire village, united, stood before him, a silent force against the tyranny. From that day forward, Alex's influence only continued to grow. The villagers elected him as their leader, knowing that he would always fight for their rights and stand up against oppression. And so, the boy who had always stood up for the oppressed became a beacon of hope for his village, an example of the power of courage and compassion. He ruled with kindness and fairness, forever a reminder that true power is not in the hands of the oppressor, but in the collective courage of the oppressed. 1. What was Alex known for? 2. What gave Alex the courage to stand against tyrants? 3. Why did Alex become more determined to stand against oppression with each passing day? 4. How did Alex's sympathetic nature get him into trouble? 5. Who helped Alex during unfortunate times and how? 6. Do you believe in standing firmly against cruelty or in diplomacy? Give solid reasons to justify your answer.